Okay, hello everybody, and good morning, or good afternoon, or good evening, wherever we may be. My name is Ruel Gaviola, and welcome to Tabletop Recall. Got a very special guest in the house today. Well, not in my house, but in the virtual house here today. My friend, Anais Morgan. Hi, Anais. How are you? Let's make sure Mike is.
Yeah, my mic's on. My mic's
Okay,
I'm muted.
awesome. Thank
I
you.
saw I'm in a house.
A house.
Yeah,
That's right.
what's up, everybody? Thanks for watching. My
Yeah,
name's Anais,
yeah.
and thanks for having me. This is awesome.
Yeah, this is really cool. We actually just saw each other in Gen Con, or at Gen Con, and before that, we saw each
Hmm.
other at San Diego Comic Con, and before that,
Yep.
we saw each other at LFG Con.
Yep.
It seems like our paths are like continually crossing, which is a good thing in my book. I love it.
It's con season,
Yeah,
so I'm seeing a lot. I get all my socializing done during the summer when
yeah.
all the conventions are, and then I just hole up like a hermit for the rest of the
And
year.
that's it, right? It's
So
like,
I'm glad we've been able to hang out and play some games and stuff
same. I
over the past few cons.
agreed. I think that's the thing I've been most excited about is not only being able to hang out with you, but also play games with you because I feel like those of us that work in the industry, we don't actually get time to play games during con, so it's been
Yeah,
a real special treat lately.
I think that was the only game I played at Gen Con.
Oh, really? It might. Oh,
Yeah, I
actually, I
think it
did play a few
was
more. Yeah, the
I,
one that
I
we
think it
played.
was straight up the only game I played at Gen Con. So because I was working. So,
Yeah. Well, I'm glad.
it's just like that sometimes.
Yeah,
But
that's
yeah.
how it goes. I'm glad we got to play a game. I want to welcome on everyone on in. Thank you, friends, for hanging out with us. AB True, B Travis, Ty Miller. I know we got folks lurking and working. Thank you for doing that as well, friends. Whether you're on YouTube or Twitch, we appreciate you. And I want to thank BGG as well for hosting on their live page. Always kind of them to do that. This is a monthly show that I do here the first Monday of every month. And if you look at your calendar, it is not the first Monday of the month. It's because we had to push it back because I was still recovering from Gen Con. And if I'm 100% truthful, Anais, I was sort of recovered on Monday, but I was at the Dodger game Monday, so I had things to do. So
Did you get the con crud? Did you avoid the sickness?
thankfully I did avoid the
I
sickness.
did too.
Okay,
I didn't
good.
get sick. I usually get sick at conventions, but I did San Diego and Gen Con. I was like, surely I'm
Yeah.
gonna get sick these 2 weekends
Yep.
and then flying back and forth.
Yeah.
But I think I like masked most of the time at San Diego because I was really paranoid about getting sick before Gen Con.
Yeah.
And then at Gen Con, I just masked on the exhibit hall floor
Okay.
and
Yeah.
that seemed to work out. And a
That's
lot
great.
of people had gotten like little little
Yeah.
boosters.
Yeah.
So I think that helped too.
I'm
So, but
I'm pro
usually,
yeah.
yeah, I get sick.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I think every Gen Con except for this one, I've gotten sick afterward.
Oh my gosh! Wow. Well, I'm glad that
Yeah,
that it worked out. I didn't get. I feel like that's well, so far, knock on wood, I haven't heard many of my friends or peers have gotten sick.
yeah,
And if they did, it was like minor, nothing major, like a little,
yeah,
minor con crud here and there, but also no reports of COVID or anything. So
yeah,
that's great.
yeah.
Um, Personally, I tried to stay actually off the main out of the main halls for both conventions this year.
Probably for the best.
Yeah, because you know how it is. It's just so many people.
It's a little crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah, I so at San Diego, I was kind of like, oh, this isn't too bad. This isn't as bad as I expected it to be. And
uh,
then on Saturday, it hit like noon, and it was terrible. And I
yeah,
was like, I need to get out of here.
yeah.
But like the days leading up to that were okay,
Okay, cool.
okay-ish in the morning. So that's
Yeah,
my hot tip, hot con tip. If you're going to San Diego, do the exhibit hall in the morning.
that's
Um,
that's a great tip.
and then
Yeah,
do all the events and stuff in the afternoon
yeah,
because also there's like block parties and outdoor things that are
yeah.
fun there
Yeah,
also.
that's one thing I do appreciate about San Diego is just the fact that you can go outdoors. There are a bunch of
Yeah,
activations, behind the convention center and actually all over the city, downtown area. But I always love that about San Diego. Nice is just the fact that I can go outside and just hang out at the bay. Just look at the ocean right there.
yeah, it's
It
beautiful.
really
It's
is.
it makes me angry how beautiful San Diego
Darn you,
is.
San Diego,
I'm
for being
always
so
like,
beautiful.
yeah, cause we're Angelinos, we're SoCal folks, so
Yep,
I feel like I like to manufacture some beef with San Diego that isn't really there.
I love
But
it.
I get so mad when I go there. I'm like, oh, the weather is actually way better there.
Yeah.
It actually is nicer to be outside. Well, supposedly this was like some of the best San Diego Comic Con weather that has happened in a while.
That's true. Yeah.
So according to others, it was my first San Diego. So
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
I
So
I got lucky with the
so
weather.
overall, what was your experience? Now, did you do all 4 days at Comic Con, or because I only
Yeah, I
did one
did.
day? Okay.
I did the full weekend.
Wow.
Yeah, I was on two panels.
Mm-hmm.
So I was a featured guest for the Creators Assemble Tabletop Network.
That's right.
Which was really cool. That's like, if you work in the games industry or you're curious about working at the games industry, both WonderCon and San Diego Creators Assemble puts on these awesome like networking events. It's basically like speed dating but for networking, where they sit professionals at a table together, and then if you want to participate, you can go around and spend 10 minutes just getting to know people and give them cards and ask for advice or try to make connections that you might not otherwise be able to. And I like it because it's like a nicer networking. It can feel like embarrassing to be like, this is what I want.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
How can you help me? You know, it's a little like not very classy to do that at the bar or whatever when you're first meeting someone. But like a set networking event is great because it's like, hey, I'm a games journalist. This is my card. This is what I'm interested in. If you ever want to, reach out, stuff like that. Where, or I'm an illustrator. I want to work in games. This is what I do. So here's my card. So that could be helpful.
Yeah.
And then the other thing I did was a Cyberpunk Red actual play. Live actual play, my first live actual play, which was great.
Ooh.
With the No Latency podcast. I'm a recurring guest.
Yeah.
So it was nice getting to play with them in person. But
how was that experience of the whole in-person live play versus?
Oh, that was awesome.
Okay.
Oh, it's like a drug. I haven't been on stage. So I have a theater background. So I'm an actor with like a theater background, live theater, live performance. And I haven't done a show in a while, like a proper show. I haven't done it in a couple of years. The last thing I did was like a really long Shakespeare contract where I was performing probably like every weekend for like 6 months.
Wow.
In front of live audience. So that was crazy. But I hadn't been on stage or like in front of people in a while, and I was like, oh man, this is great. I was like, well, it's funny because I have pretty bad performance anxiety before shows and things.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, it feels like an oxymoron, right?
Yeah.
But playing a game in front of people, it was kind of the first time I was like performing where I really didn't feel nervous at all because I was just playing with people that I always play with, that I enjoy being with, and it was nice. It was like maybe 40 people in the audience, so that was cool.
Awesome.
Which is pretty good for like a Thursday night spot. I would say.
That's great. And I'm assuming this was recorded, or was it live streamed at the time as well?
I think it was recorded. I think they're going to put it up somewhere. I'm not sure where.
Cool.
Sorry, I made sure the cat's not.
No worries. I see one of the cats peeking out there. Nice. So who's your
friend
back
there he is. His name is Plantain.
Oh, Plantain.
He's sat in on many a gaming session.
Oh, nice. I love it.
But San Diego was good. I didn't really know what to expect. I knew that it was big. I kind of like didn't want it to be as cool as it was in a weird way because everyone was like, oh, it's so crowded, it's so busy, it's expensive and all that.
Yeah.
And it is. But getting to be there and like seeing all the cool activations and the booths, I was like, oh, this is really cool.
Yeah.
Like, actually, it might be worth it.
Yeah, right.
So,
totally. Shout out to everyone who had just joined us. I want to say hi to Reggie. Thank you, Rolling Reggie. Reggie says, welcome, Anais. You've got a new fan, Rolling Reggie, my buddy.
Thanks, Reggie.
Folks, I'm so thrilled to have Anais here with me today. We've gotten to spend a lot of time together at these last couple of conventions, and we're just recapping what we've been through recently. And then we're going to get to our top 10 games of the month. These are the games that we enjoyed playing during July. Hopefully, we'll see one of them or maybe all of them. I don't know. We're going to show you what games that we played together and what games we really enjoyed. But we'll get that in a minute. I just want to continue with the con talk. So Comic-Con, and then right away, did you immediately go out to Indianapolis for Gen Con, or did you at least have a break?
I got back on Sunday, and then Wednesday night I flew out to Indianapolis. So I
Okay.
had a couple days to like do laundry and
Yeah.
pack and be ready.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it's a quick turnaround. I've never done a quick turnaround like that. So it was kind
Yeah.
of, I know you came out earlier. You
I
did,
did.
how long did, but you only did one day of Comic Con. So
Yeah.
how many days did you have at home?
So I did one day at Comic Con. That was a Thursday, which was great. And like you, I was able to take a first timer. My niece, it was her first time at Comic Con, and she's super into anime. So I took her last year to her first anime expo in LA, and then now her first
Nice.
Comic Con. Yeah, I'm trying to be the cool uncle. I don't know if I'm
Yeah,
succeeding
I
in
would
that.
say you're succeeding. I think if my uncle took me to cons and stuff, he'd be
Yeah.
pretty cool.
Yeah, thanks. I actually, yeah,
Yeah.
so we got to spend time. Shout out to my niece. She seemed like she really enjoyed it. We had a good time, and thank you, Rolling Reggie. Yeah, I do like to be the funkle, the fun uncle. But yeah, we did that, and then so Friday, my plan was to go back down to Comic Con, just to sort of see stuff, and she couldn't go because she already had plans with her friends. So I was gonna roll solo, and I woke up that day and I was like, I think I'm gonna take a little break. So I just chilled out. Michelle and I, my wife and I, just hung out at home, and I started packing a little. Well, actually, no, I take that back. I didn't pack. We just hung out all day, and then Saturday was my day of packing, which was great because it went smoother than any other day ever that I've had packing. It was a really light pack for me, and I flew out first thing Sunday morning, like 5 a.m. Sunday morning. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, and
Um, it was kind of nice because I felt like I was already packed a little bit.
right, yeah,
I for,
just
from
what.
San Diego to Gen Con.
Oh yeah, and what I like, well, I don't know if I like, well, I guess it's just it made it easier. Like you just sort of get in like con mode, and to go from one con to another, you're still in that mode. I don't know if it's like it's just a mental attitude or whatever, but it's like I had a day to sort of reset, but then I'm like back in it, which was made it easy for me. And so I got there Sunday. Gen Con doesn't start till actually Thursday, so I had a few days to hang out with my friends who I was staying with. My friends Kelly and Aaron. I mean, I love them. They're amazing people. We got to be friends a few years ago, and they just have me stay with them every Gen Con now. It's great. Makes
That is
everything, yeah,
nice.
it makes everything easier. And plus, they like they love their nerd out on two things, which I love about them. They nerd out about board games. They nerd out about coffee. So I've got the best of both worlds. I've got this awesome coffee and these awesome people and these board games. So it's the best.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I felt like San Diego was, I think because I wasn't working at all. I was only doing the panels at San Diego,
Okay.
and then Gen Con I was doing some hours with Renegade. So I
Yeah.
think like San Diego felt more relaxed, a lot more like
Yep.
just getting to do whatever I want to do.
Hmm.
Um, whereas like Gen Con can sometimes feel like it was a little more worky for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Also like more socialized because it's all games industry people, so it's even more people that like I know online.
Right.
So I'm like doing more and I'm talking more and I'm going to all the bars and I'm like,
Yeah.
getting dinner with people and lunch with people and playing
Yep.
games and so Gen Con does I think took it out of me a little bit more than San Diego
Absolutely.
did.
Yeah.
Um,
I think that's right. Like San Diego, I was there for like I did one panel and then just had the rest of the day to hang out with my niece and walk around. And then
that's
yeah,
nice.
and then we had that like the tabletop party, the industry party
Yeah,
that
that was
night.
really
That
fun.
was
I
yeah.
really like that.
Yeah, shout out to Ross Thompson. He puts together such a
Yeah.
great party, and like everyone knows Ross. I mean, he's just such a good dude,
Ross knows everybody.
right?
That guy, he gets around. He knows
He
everybody.
does.
He was super supportive for he helped set up the Cyberpunk Red Actual play
Oh, nice.
that I did at San Diego with the No Latency podcast. So that was great.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
He's been supportive of what I've done literally since day one, from back in the Geek and Sundry days. Like I went to interview him, and he just he was running another convention called Kingdom Con down in San Diego for years, and he invited me down. I went down there and just introduced me a ton of people, and I'm like, wow, dude, that's went above and beyond. I'm always grateful for Ross for that part of our relationship, and we became good friends
yeah,
too. We play a lot of Twilight Imperium, so you tend to become
nice.
friends with people you spend like 8 hours at a time with at the table.
Yeah, that's so
But
funny.
yeah, shout out to Ross. So yeah, so Gen Con, we were both working more there. Did we? We didn't actually work together, did we? No. I don't remember.
No,
No.
I don't think so.
Okay.
I
I'm,
was doing like at Gen Con, I was doing the social media coverage for Renegade. So I was
oh,
mostly just like walking around, talking to my coworkers, taking pictures,
yeah.
planning out social media stuff.
How do you like?
It's fun work. I think
Yeah.
con coverage is fun work. It's just it you're just going a lot though.
Yeah. Like I did that. I did it for Our Family Plays Games for their YouTube channel. I did stuff, and
Nice.
yeah, I'd never done anything for a particular channel like strict con coverage, and you just hit the perfect word. It was like a lot. It was like way more tiring than I thought it would be.
Yeah,
Like,
it's well because you're also like talking to the community member. At least for me, this is my experience.
yeah,
Because I'm the community coordinator at Renegade, so a lot of what I do is based around like our gaming community and like their interactions and
yeah.
getting to do all the cool organized play stuff. So it's a lot of like talking to people and meeting them and being like, hey, can I get your picture? What's,
Hmm.
how are you doing? How's your con going? Like, what's your favorite thing you've done so far? What do you think of the new minis? Are you excited for the new wave of Heroescape? So it's a lot of like talking to like meeting a lot of new people
Yeah.
pretty consistently. So, and you like have to be in the hall or in the exhibit hall, like
Hmm.
at certain times and things like that. So this time I only did part-time hours, which was a lot more manageable.
Good.
Previously I'd done the full con, and I do love it. I very much enjoy getting to do con coverage. I think it's a total blast, and it really like forces me to get out of my shell and like meet people, and I find it very fulfilling, getting to
Oh,
connect
good.
with the community in person. Um, but yeah, this time it was a lot more like, oh, I can kind of get to sleep at a normal hour. I could kind of sleep in a couple
Yeah.
hours, So it's
Nice.
a give and take.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, con coverage is crazy, but it's a blast.
I love that you find that fulfilling because I do too. Like as much as as people that work in the industry, as much as we talk about how busy it is, how tough it is, everything at the end of the day, it really is fulfilling. Like I enjoy hanging out with fellow fans of games. What no matter if it's RPGs, tabletop, board games, whatever. Like we're all there for a reason. We're all there to play games and celebrate games. And I think it's really neat that we do have something like Gen Con that we can really celebrate the best and the biggest and the best, and also the smaller independent stuff too. I love seeing all the whole wide variety of games that are out there.
Yeah, I think, and at the end of the day, like it can be kind of challenging to like form a sense of community
Hmm.
these days. So getting to see like a hall full of like thousands of people playing games,
Yeah,
I mean, it doesn't get more community than that. And
agreed.
like getting to actually meet the people that are enjoying the games that like my company has worked to put out,
Yeah,
or like enjoying games that I've been a fan of for a really long time. I see other people playing them. I get to meet the people who made those games.
yeah,
It is like it feels like a small world in the games industry, and
yeah.
it's such a nice community. And I love like how accessible it is for like fans to interact with the people making the games.
Agreed.
I think that's very unique to tabletop. You don't really get that so much in like the video games industry, or like the film industry.
Okay.
um, in my opinion, in my experience, I don't feel like it's as one to one. The fact that the community can like come up and talk to me, or they recognize me from like Renegade streams or something like that, and
Yeah,
then we can like have a connection and like get to know each other. Like
yeah,
it's really nice, and I
yeah.
feel like it's very unique, and it makes my job a lot cooler, even.
Agreed.
So
Yeah, I've had really really positive experiences with folks coming up to me, seeing me, seeing me from YouTube or whatever channel, and just always have some really kind words, and I really appreciate it. Like it's yeah, we talk, to our monitors for all these hours, and then to actually have a face to face connection with someone actually means something really neat to me, and I do appreciate y'all who do that. Um, on that note, let's talk about some games.
yeah, we start talking about
All
games.
right, cool. Friends, you are watching the best board games of the month. This is Tabletop Recall. My name's Ruel. My special guest, Anais, is with me this month to talk about our top 10. And what we're going to do is we've each selected five, and we're going to count them up: five, four, three, two, one. And I'm going to start with Anais. And actually, I guess we can do this one
We
together.
can do this one together because it's
Yeah,
both of our number
it
five.
is our number five.
Together.
Nice. What is our number five for the month?
It's called Play Prop,
All right.
and Ruel showed it to me at Gen Con. We had the privilege of playing together with some really cool people, and it's just
Yes.
like a super nice, easy party game. Very funny, like very
Yeah.
funny interactions. I haven't like laughed that long, like that much while playing a game like in a while.
Yes.
Truly, like we were screaming and yelling playing this game, and it was the best time. I
Yeah.
truly one of the highlights I think from Gen Con was getting to play with everybody on this like
Agreed.
crazy
Yeah.
game.
And folks, Anais is not joking. When she says we're
We were screaming.
screaming, we were literally screaming at this game. Folks,
Yeah.
Play Prop, they sent me the copy of the game, so the copy I have is from them. You'll see the components here. It is just a bunch of corks tied to it with a string tied to it, and you'll see some dice right there. One player is going to roll the dice. Everyone else is going to have their cork in the middle of the little coaster type thing it is, I guess, right here. And you roll the dice, and if it is the number 7 or doubles, everyone else needs to yank their cork out of the middle there. Because if you don't yank it out in time, the active player, the one who's rolled the dice, they're going to slam their cup. I don't know who this gentleman is. They're going to try to slam the cup and capture your cork. And if they do, you're going to lose a point or you gain a point. If you it's you gain a point and you're at the end of like I think 8 rounds, whoever has the least amount of points wins. So you do not want to be captured in this game. It is so I think I described it as this. I thought I always described it as like some silly game, but man, oh man, it was definitely a highlight for me when we played Anais.
Yeah. What's crazy is that I feel like if I were to prescribe the main mechanics of this game, it's the skills you need for this game are one, mental math, and two, reflexes, physical
Yes,
reflexes,
totally.
which is a wild combo
Yeah,
to have. So you need to be able to add to 7 really quickly,
yeah,
and you also need to have fast reflexes.
yeah,
So I did very, very poorly up until like the right towards the end, the
yeah.
final third. I needed a warm up
Oh
period,
yeah, yeah,
obviously.
totally. Yeah, we all jumped into the deep
Yeah.
end. It's like, oh, we're just gonna play this, and like, yeah, you definitely after a little while you do start to get the hang of it, right? And I think for me, the thing I always have trouble with it is the mental math. Like adding up to 7, I can do that, but I always forget about the doubles. So if you roll doubles, you also have to yank your cork out of there
Yeah.
before the player
Yeah.
tries to catch it.
I think that too. Also, my reflexes just are they're
Reflexes.
just okay. I would say they're all right, but they're like just okay. I think I get a little overzealous maybe and like yank with my whole arm.
Yeah,
And maybe I could streamline that a little bit if I wanted to
yeah,
truly gamify and win this game. But I don't think it's a I think it's just a kind of for fun game.
oh yeah,
It's not so it doesn't foster a tense competitive environment. It's
yeah,
more of a like we're all just laughing at each other for how silly we all look,
totally.
trying to pull the cork as fast as possible.
Yeah. And that's what I love about games like Play Prop. It's super silly, but we're all being silly together, and no one's. It is. Yeah, I wouldn't say it was like hyper intense competitive, but it is. It's got a little tension there. Like, okay, am I gonna yank the string? Because if you yank your cork and you don't, and it is not doubles or a 7, then you're still gonna lose a point, right? So you don't want to
Yeah.
get faked out. And there was a lot of faking out when we played.
Yeah, we had some players that were like faking trying to get us to jump, and it definitely worked a couple
Oh yeah, I
times.
got suckered
So, yeah, so I feel like you can build a strategy maybe, but
totally.
it was just a blast. It was a
Yeah,
fun little game,
yeah,
and it was nice because I find that especially in like con settings or like big busy rooms, like
hmm
trying to learn rules can be challenging
oh
for
yeah,
me personally. I have ADHD, so for me, if it's like really loud in a room or like there's a lot going on, I have a hard time like picking up rules.
yeah,
So for something like this, where it's like there's like 2 rules,
yeah,
you
yeah,
know,
exactly.
it's like the whole game can just be explained within like 2
Yep.
sentences. So that was not an issue at
Yeah.
all.
I that
So it
is
made for a pretty good party game.
That is such a great point, Anais. Just the fact that, yeah, at cons, it's really you can be bombarded, just overstimulated, and to have a game where it's literally like two rules. And friends, I'm showing you a picture here. If you notice, there is no rule sheet here. The rules are actually printed
Yeah.
on the box. There's like three steps or whatever. One, the first step's how to set it up. Second is a rule. Third is a rule. Then that's it, and then you just score. There's no rules. It's a score sheet here for the 8 rounds that you play. So yeah, that's something to be said. I think that's a great point that when you're at the con, with a ton of people, a ton of games going on, games like Play Prop, I think, are perfect for
Yeah.
that situation.
Or like a board game bar, stuff like
Yeah,
that. This is the
yeah.
kind of game you could. And honestly, the playtime's so short, you could bring it to a regular bar. I don't think
Oh
anyone
yeah,
would be
yeah.
mad at you.
I definitely, yeah. You could totally bring a bar, brewery, or whatever you want. It's super cash, and yeah, really love this. I'm glad that we both put this on our list.
Yeah.
I think it's one of the perfect party games out there right now.
Yeah.
So okay, awesome. So
Agreed.
let's move on to our number 4 game. I'm gonna pass it on to Anais for her number 4. Then I'll talk about mine after hers.
Okay. Yeah, I'll do my number 4.
Okay.
So my number 4 is a game that I have not actually gotten to play yet. I have read it,
Hmm.
and with that said, it is an RPG.
Nice.
But it's called Pigeons 11.
All right.
And the tagline, I have a copy here. Hold on, let me reference the copy.
Oh,
The
okay.
tagline is "Be birds, do crimes."
I love it.
So it's Ocean's 11 or whatever, but pigeons. It's a heist game, but you all play as pigeons.
Oh my gosh,
So
really?
it's really fun.
That's
So it's
awesome.
made at the polymorph system. So if you've played Kobolds Ate My Baby, which I have played for a charity stream, and I had a really fun time with it. It's a very like rules light RPG system.
Uh huh.
But yeah, so this one is all pigeons, and it's all stealing stuff. It's heists. And it's designed to be a one-shot game. It kind of recommends like you could do 2 2 hour sessions, 2 to 3 hour sessions, or you could just do it in one sitting.
Oh, cool.
And it's a nice little tiny paperback, so it's really quick to read, and it's easy to transport. um, I just thought it was very novel. I got it at Gen Con. This is from Ninth Level Games. And it's just a funny concept, and I think I'm gonna have a blast running it. We're playing in it, but probably running it. Let's be honest. Um, and yeah, it's a simple system, and I like that it kind of recommends it only being a one shot too. Like I
Okay.
think that they're definitely there could be more games marketing themselves as like this is great for conventions, like this is great for like a one sitting kind of game,
Ah,
like
okay.
in between larger campaigns and things like that. So yeah, they
Nice.
I think it says it's a polymorph fun shot. So I think
Oh,
instead of a one shot, a fun
yeah, that's
shot, which is
great.
kind of funny.
Yeah,
um
I'm super interested. So as I'll say a novice RPGer, I've done a few, but this one, the theme right off the bat, I'm like,
this would be,
yeah,
yeah, if you're not super comfortable like with RPGs, or
uh,
maybe you just haven't played a lot, and like reading a whole textbook of rules seems a little intimidating to you,
yeah,
i.e. like D&D or Pathfinder or something like that. Those games are great,
oh yeah,
but there
yeah,
are a lot of rules.
yep,
This would be a great like lead in because it's very rules light. It's super easy to learn, and then because it's a there's other games based off of the system,
uh huh,
you can kind of dip your toe into like Kobold Day My Baby, or
nice.
Nancy Druid, or there's a Fairy Princess one, which is
Oh,
cool.
cool.
But yeah, it's pretty neat. And actually, this company I recently looked up, they've kind of been around forever. Kobold Day My Baby is like, I think, came out in 1999.
Oh wow. Okay.
I don't quote me. I did like read the Wikipedia on it when I was at Gen Con,
Uh huh.
so it was like a week ago. So we'll see if my memory's correct on that.
Right.
But I was kind of surprised this game had been around for so long, and I like that they're branching out and making other you know,
Yeah.
fun little one shots. Because I love like a zany one shot, dramatic. I do a lot of dramatic RP
Uh huh.
and things like that. So getting to like just blow off some steam and like do something absolutely ridiculous is
Yeah.
very
Oh,
nice.
that's cool.
I'm a fan. Yeah.
Yeah, I've been watching this video they have here of people playing, and there's been a puppet the entire time. I don't know if that's
I
from.
think it's that their kobold mascot.
Oh, is that the
It's
mascot?
I
Okay,
think so. From
that's so
Kobolds and My
cool.
Baby. I don't
That's
know.
awesome. I love
But
a good puppeteer. That's great.
yeah.
Yeah, this looks great. Again, the theme really draws me in, and the fact that it's something that those of us newer to the role playing genre would probably feel comfortable playing. So that looks really neat.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. Good
Good.
convention game. There it
Right on.
is. I have
Pages.
it.
Oh, there it
Proof.
is. Right on. So, how long is it? It looks like a trade paperback. It doesn't look that long at all.
It's very small.
Nice.
I think it was like $15. I think it retails for
Oh,
around
wow.
15. Don't quote me. You'd have to check the website.
Yeah.
But it's very, very small, very digestible.
Hmm.
It looks great. Layout's
Awesome.
great.
So
Fun little
when you're
pigeon pictures.
oh, I love it. So when
Yeah.
you're prepping, do you go through the whole book, and are you taking notes while you're doing it?
For
What's your
something like
process?
this,
Yeah.
yeah, I would.
Okay.
This is like casual enough that like I would probably just read the whole book
Hmm.
in my free time, and then I would probably watch a couple heist movies, and
Okay.
then I would maybe steal one of those plots or
Yeah.
and make it more pigeon themed. Um, that would be that would probably be it. So really light prep. It's mostly since it's rules light, it's
Yeah.
mostly narrative driven. Um, so yeah, it'd be pretty easy to prep,
Awesome.
especially if you're like an improv
Yeah.
GM, which I tend to lean more into improv too. You can
Oh,
really
okay.
kind of mess around with that.
Right.
But yeah,
Awesome. Cool. What a great number four to continue the list here. Thank you. Nice. Now I'm
yeah,
gonna jump into my number
yeah. Tell me
four.
about your number four.
Yeah, my number four is a card game that I covered last year. I did a sponsored preview for the Rahdo Runs Through channel, and it just came out at retail. It was a big hit, from what I understand, at Gen Con this year. It is Big Sur. Big Sur is based on the uh, Big Sur up in Northern California, right? The
It's
famous
like a state park. Is it a state park or
state
is it
park.
a? I
Yeah.
think
I
I
think
don't
it
know.
is. I think you're right. I think it's a state park. And what we're doing in Big Sur is actually building the Pacific Coast Highway, the stretch of highway along Big Sur. And you're going to do that through card drafting and tableau building. Becca and I played on Good Morning Society a few weeks ago, and we really enjoyed it. After I'd done the video last year, I remember liking the game a lot, but then revisiting it like a few months later with Becca, I was like, "Oh, this is a lot better than I remember." Because for such a simple game, what you're doing is just taking cards and adding to your tableau. You're literally building a road there in front of you. But there's a lot more going on because there's certain ways to score things. Like you score certain symbols if they're next to each other. The road that you build, it's gonna have like certain number of miles, but you can only score those if they have this the right icons in the right place. So it's a little more puzzly than I expected, and I love that about it. So it's a lighter game, but for a light game, and I love games like these, especially these days. My tastes is a little have changed. So I used to like really heavy, like I preferred heavier, longer games. Now I'm all about like shorter, quicker playing games that still give you a little bit of brain crunch or brain burn. Now I wouldn't call this a brain burner, but I would definitely call it something that's like, oh, it's not just a simple, draw a card, play a card. No, you're actually making decisions every turn. So that's why it's my number four. I really love this one, Anais. It is Big Sur from 25th Century Games.
It sounds like a blast. The
Yeah,
cards look cool too.
yeah. It is. The art is beautiful. Mondo Davis designed this, and he's done some games that I really enjoy. I feel like he is designing these type of games for my current I don't know, preference for games where they're lighter on they just seem lighter, but when you actually start playing them, it's like, oh, there's a little bit more going on here than you expected, which I really like. But I don't know, nice these type of games, like card drafting, card games. I know Renegade's got a few that I've enjoyed, stuff like Stellar, or oh man, what was the other one? There was another one I
I
just
mean, Unstoppable by John D. Clare.
yeah,
The
Unstoppable's
game. You can't
fantastic.
go wrong with John D. Clare,
Agreed.
Rose Legend. So,
Agreed. Yeah.
yeah, I'd say like even all the deck building games in
Yep.
the deck building
Mhm.
lines are totally
Yeah.
solid. Um,
Yeah.
That's me off the clock. I'm not getting paid to say that because I'm off the clock right now. But I will say like the My Little Pony deck building game, and there's like they're not the same game either. There's like other
Yep.
rules for across MLP, Transformers, Power Rangers,
Yeah.
GI Joe. So
Yeah. No, you're right.
games that could have easily been a label slap are not. Like they're
Yeah.
just actually really well thought out games.
Agreed. Yeah. And
that happen to be IP.
Yeah. That's so true. Like I totally like when I first played. I think it was the GI Joe or no, it was the Transformers deck builder. Like I expected it to just be okay. It's just gonna be a standard deck builder, whatever, with the cool Transformers art. But no, there's a couple of things there that like oh, this is a little different than what I expected. And then along those lines, like Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, GI Joe, My Little Pony, they all have like a little difference in each game, which I think is really neat that Renegade can do that.
Yeah, and so those definitely I love a good card game that's like easy to learn, hard to master. That's like
Oh yeah.
the
Yeah.
the term everybody uses.
Totally.
But I feel like a good card crafting game really scratches that itch.
Agreed. So Big Sur, it is not a card crafter, it's not a deck builder, but it is a wonderful 2 to 4 player game, drafting cards, and check that one out, folks. That's my number 4. And now we've got a couple more games to talk about. We're gonna go back to Anais with our number 3.
Number 3. Okay, it's another RPG. Sorry, this is the RPG episode.
I love it. That's
great. But it's Root the RPG. So this is the RPG version of Root the board game. So obviously, if you're watching this and you love board games, I'm sure you've heard of Root, whether or not you've played it.
Agreed.
It takes on the theme of the Root board game really well, where it's like these cute critters and like this beautiful art, but there's like the underlying like warring factions mechanics that are happening. So the RPG itself is powered by the Apocalypse, which is more of a rules light kind of rules medium RPG system that's very narrative driven. So if you're planning on GMing it, it's a little more improv-y, narrative-y, just as a heads up. But yeah, there's a lot of opportunity for like political conflict and political intrigue. If you like stuff like Watership Down or Secret of Nim, this is definitely that kind of genre of game. But yeah, it's or Rescuers. The Rescuers is also a good example. But yeah, you get to like create your character, and it's a cute little animal. I recently finished up a mini campaign I was doing with some friends as a nice little home game, which was great because I love a little home game. And it was a lot of fun. I played a bunny named Patty, and I made him very like pacifist. He didn't carry any weapons with him, but he just used the confused senses move basically over and over again whenever he needed to do anything. And we flavored that by being like he throws sand in somebody's eyes. So I was like, my whole character was like, I just wear all this armor and I don't want to get hurt, and I just
that's great. Yeah,
lifestyle. Like I was role playing a rabbit. There's a lot of fun. It's the game Root. This could be a fun way for you to get into it. This is it's from Magpie Games, and it's just fun and it's cute. It's all the same art. The accessories are really cute. It's just nice. It's a nice game.
I have a buddy of mine. He recently, I think he completed a campaign that he and his friends run, and they had a blast with Root the RPG. Nice. I don't think anyone as cool as Patty, the bunny. But they had some fun. But I love that you did that. That you could take something and like you would think Root. Oh yeah, we're all fighting. Stabby, and you flipped it around. That's great.
Yeah. It was a lot of fun.
That's so cool.
It was good. Yeah, it's basically you're all playing vagabonds. So when you
Okay.
play the RPG, you can play as the vagabond, right?
Uh-huh.
So basically, the RPG is you're all playing as the vagabond. So
Oh, okay.
uh, you're like not affiliated with any of the factions, but you're basically like a sellsword, and then you can build either a positive reputation or like notoriety with each faction as the game progresses. So that's kind of a unique mechanic
Oh,
to
cool.
this game, which is cool. Yeah, and I like it when mechanics kind of support how the PCs are interacting with the world and how they're interacting with the NPCs.
Yeah.
I think it gives like a good gauge of, are we going to be attacked on sight in this area? Like, who should we be, supporting? Like in these warring factions, nobody's in the right,
Yeah.
like in route. Um, but who are you choosing to align with?
Right.
One of the people in my party was playing a bird who was like kicked out of the Erie dynasty,
Mm.
but he was like still like fully firmly believing that the Erie dynasty is like, yes, absolutely, they're the good guys, we have to support the Erie, and all of us are like, what are you talking about? So there's a lot of ways to go about it, and obviously he had more of a positive reputation with them than we did, and it was cool. It creates like funny inner party like relations and
uh,
conversations
Very
based on
cool.
that. So
I love that. This
yeah,
is another
it's a
one again.
fun game.
As someone that's newer to RPGs, I'd be interested in because I love Root the board game, and I feel like
Yeah, totally.
that world it just lends itself to an RPG, right? So,
Yeah, that was kind of why we chose it,
oh,
because
okay.
two of my friends had never played RPGs at all before, but they're
Oh,
big board gamers,
okay.
and we had played Root with them, so we were like, this could be a fun like first RPG instead of kind of,
Yeah,
instead of the typical like we're going to teach you Dungeons and Dragons thing. We were like, well, this one's a little bit easier to learn, and it's already kind of in a theme and world that you're familiar with.
right.
So it ended up working out really well. They were super like comfortable role playing and being silly, and I
Awesome.
think they weren't too intimidated by the rules, which is nice because sometimes that can happen with new players,
Yeah,
where you know it can be hard. You learn a
yeah.
bunch of new rules, and then you're like, okay, now go play pretend, and it's like,
Uh, exactly. Not
so
everything is
so this
easy as
game did
play
well.
prop. Right.
Yeah. Not everything's as easy as like pulling that cork. But yeah, it was good.
Awesome.
It worked out really well for some new players, which was it's always good to see.
That's great. Bottom Shelf Board Game in chat. Thank you for joining, friends. Says I'm waiting for the Ruel RPG, A Day in the Life of Ruel, the Ultimate Power Fantasy. I don't know if anyone wants to play that, Bottom Shelf, but thank you. I appreciate that.
It's like you either are playing a board game or you're going to a Dodger game. Those are the
Exactly.
two.
And what's funny, Bing followed that up was with this is Ruel. Wake up, say good morning, Michelle. Crash a plane in Sky Team, feed the pugs, open new game boxes, check on the Dodgers, play new games, and then stream. Yeah, that's pretty much my life, Bing. Thank you for summing it up so precisely. And of course, Board Game says, and the beard grooming mini game. Yeah, that is part of it as well. Thank you, Bottom Shelf. Oh, there is oh
There's Plantain.
yeah, Plantain, so cute.
He's
Um,
a little attention hog. I'm sure he just wants to be
I love it.
on stream.
We're okay. The more animals on stream, the better. I love fur
Yeah.
babies, so yeah, we're good. Thanks, nice. Let's look on to my number 3 now. Moving right along. Let me pull up on screen here. This is a game that I just played for the first time. I'd say like less than 2 weeks ago. I played it at Shu and Christina's house. They are the wonderful homeowners here or hosts in Southern California. Anytime you play games, if you're around Southern California, Shu and Christina are very, very welcoming. They also do the Going Analog podcast. That's what I wanted to mention. The Going Analog podcast. So anyways, long story, even longer, I played a game called Hot Streak. And this one was all the rage recently. Actually, it's still all the rage. It is a board game racing game. There's the video right here. And in this, if you ever played Ready, Set, Bet, it's a horse racing game. This is just like that, but it's quicker, it's easier, and it's way funnier. The theme is everyone is betting on these different sports team mascots. So as you can see, there's like a hot dog, there's like a little bear or whatever, and you're just playing cards to move them. and you just flip over the cards, and they're either going to go straight or they're going to swerve to the left or right, and you're betting on who's going to cross the finish line first, and second, third, you're going to get money for each race, and the races are like super quick. It is a sort of a hand management game because everyone has cards. You're gonna have like just a standard deck of cards for movement, and then everyone's going to contribute either a card or two to the deck. Then you shuffle them up. So you know a little bit about what you put in. So maybe you're gonna move the king like 3 spaces, but then someone else may have a card that's gonna knock back the king or whatever. So you don't really know until you play out all the cards. And of course, there are the standard cards there. And eventually, someone's gonna win. You're gonna earn money. You rinse and repeat for a couple of rounds, and then whoever has the most money wins. It is quick, brilliant, and another one of those games. And I said we were all like shouting and laughing while playing. Like,
Yeah, I love
yeah,
those figs too.
yeah.
The mascots are so funny.
The minis are amazing. Let's see if
Yeah,
they got to zoom in on one of these. My favorite, I think, there's the king. There's a bear. My favorite is I think the there's a where is it? The hot dog right there. It looks like a big
that's
Dodger
very
dog to
good.
me. So,
Yeah.
I love racing games and these type of games like Camel Up or Ready Set Bet. But Hot Streak is the newest one. I think it might be. I don't know if it's my favorite. I don't know. I really love games like this where everyone's involved. All you're doing is betting on the outcome, and you have a little influence on it, but there's still randomness. But
Yeah.
yeah, Hot Streak, a lot of fun. And if you haven't played it before, we need to play this at some point.
Yeah. I'll put it on my list. Definitely. It seems
Yeah,
like a blast.
it's
Definitely
yeah,
my kind of game.
definitely. And it's like another like play prop where it's like there's not that many rules, and we're all involved. And I think it plays up to I think it's a bigger player count, maybe 8 or whatever. But um, yeah, you're just betting on mascots, folks. There's nothing better. I mean, look
That's
how
fun.
cute these things are. They're great. And
Yeah, that's pretty good.
yeah, and of course me, I didn't have any strategy except I just wanted the hot dog to win every time, and the hot
Of
dog
course.
they didn't win every time, so I lost, but it was still fun.
It'd be a fun game to play with kids or
Oh yeah,
with
absolutely.
younger gamers,
Yeah,
because it just seems so silly.
yeah. I'm always looking for games like that. Well, now that I think of say that out loud, my nieces and nephews they're all getting older, so it's I used to always try to keep games that could play like 5-year-olds and 6-year-olds. They're way past that age now, so I don't know. Well, even this guy, I don't care. I know how old they are. We're gonna play a hot streak. I'm gonna,
Yeah,
yeah,
absolutely.
yeah. I'm the Funkle. I'm gonna make that call. We're gonna play this game.
Yeah.
Okay. So that was number 3, Hot Streak. We've got a couple of games left to talk about in our recap of the best games in July. And Anais, you've got a game at number 2. Nice.
Total
Yes.
classic. Forbidden Desert. I played this for the first time
Oh,
actually on Friday, and it
nice.
was awesome. Yeah, I hadn't played Forbidden Island before, which is kind of the big was their big flagship, and for Forbidden Desert is like their sequel to it.
Yes.
Um, but it was really fun. I'm not usually a huge fan of co-op games.
Yeah.
I felt like this one was actually really well balanced, and it still felt like the stakes were high, and because there were so many like variations on the roles, um, everybody was kind of equal importance, which I think is kind of the key for a good co-op game.
Hmm.
And it was really fun. It was only about like a 45-minute playtime, I think.
Yep.
40 to 45 minutes was kind of how much we spent. We were able to play 2 rounds. We lost the first time because we were figuring out the rules, but the second time we totally crushed it. So that was good.
Nice.
Um, and yeah, it was great. This is yeah, it was really fun. It won a ton of awards. If you look on
Yeah.
BGG
Yeah.
in
This is
2013, it was just like totally crushed it.
Yeah,
Um,
that's great because I know that.
yeah,
Now, did you play? There was Forbidden Island was the first one. Did you play that one?
no. So
Okay,
I this was kind of my first foray into the Forbidden
nice.
series, and it was really fun. So it was good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
And plus it has these really cool components. It has this like plastic ship. So
mhm,
basically you're like stranded on in a desert, and your ship has crashed, and you need to find all of the pieces.
mhm.
So throughout you're trying to like figure out which tile each piece is located on. And then once you find out, then you have an actual like physical component, and then you can like put the ship together as you go, or like collect all the pieces and put it together at the end. And I thought having like physical components like that were so neat. They like all snapped into place, and
Yeah.
so you had like an actual little ship at the end of the game, which I
Yeah.
thought was
I
really
love
cool and
that.
unique. Yeah, so I like it when games take that extra step to like add something novel into the game design,
Agreed.
because they definitely didn't need to add that, but it made it really fun.
Yeah.
So
It just adds
yeah.
to, yeah, it adds to the immersive theme, right? Just you immerse yourself in the game. And um I love this game. It's been a while since I played, and I think I'm gonna have to confess something. I don't think I've ever beaten this game. I've never,
Really?
yeah, I don't think I have. The couple of times I played it wasn't easy, that's for sure. And I think the last time I played we were like super close, but we missed out on the last piece we had to get or whatever.
Yeah, you gotta get on that. You
Yeah,
gotta
I gotta try it again.
strategize,
Yeah.
grind out those hours. Silver says, I like Forbidden Island, but Desert is the best in the series. I
Yeah.
also, when I posted about this on my Instagram story, I had several friends also say that Desert was the best in the series.
Yeah.
So I think that's a commonly held belief.
Yeah.
So maybe if you haven't played these games, start with Desert. I
Yeah.
honestly, I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the way to go.
That's right.
Um,
Bing says, I
yeah.
think Forbidden Desert is much tougher than Pandemic. Yeah, that was the sense that I got. Like I love Pandemic, and I was able to beat that, but just for whatever reason, I played a couple of 4-player games in Forbidden Desert, and yeah, we succumbed to the desert storms at the time, but it was a lot of fun. It's definitely a nice little puzzle to
Yeah.
play. Yeah,
It was nice because we had a good mix of people. Three of us were like definitely much more hardcore gamers, and then
okay.
there was two like like just
Oh
have
wow.
monopoly, just trying to get into games. We had two people who were like, oh yeah, we went to Noble Knights, and like
Oh
this was the game
cool.
that they recommended for new players. So it was really cool. We played at like a board
Yeah,
game
nice.
brewery, and we were able to just have a good time and play co-op. And there wasn't it's nice when you can find a game that both like experienced players and newer players can enjoy together,
Yeah.
which is nice. That's that can be kind of hard, especially in co-op games. If like
Yeah.
not everybody is kind of on the same level, then it can be a little like, there
Totally.
can be tension there.
Yeah. Oh
At
yeah.
least for me,
Yeah. Oh
I
yeah.
that's why I prefer like a competitive game. I think sometimes like working towards a goal together can be challenging if not everybody's super experienced with games. And that definitely says more about me than about games, I will say.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
definitely like a me thing, not a game thing. But this one was really fun. I really had a good time with this.
Nice.
So
Yeah.
definitely, maybe it changed my opinion a little bit on co-op games.
Okay,
So,
cool. Hey, that's great. Yeah, I think
yeah.
it's funny. Like I really loved co-op games when I first got into the hobby, but the more games I played, the less I liked them, and I'm still sort of iffy on co-op games now. But Forbidden Sky, that I remember, I really had a good experience, even though we lost. I just like that type of gameplay in my co-op games, and I think you hit the nail on the head. It is a really terrific game for those of us who are hardcore gamers, but you can totally play it with a brand new player as well and still have a good time.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. And it's up to 5 players, which is nice
Yep.
instead of 4. So
Yep.
2 to 5, which is great. There was 5 of us. We all
That's right.
played.
Yeah.
So
Cool.
yeah, it was a good time. Definitely
Awesome.
recommend it.
Great
I had
call.
I had a lot of fun with it.
Thank you. That is number 2, Forbidden Desert. Let's move on to my number 2, friends. And this one, I was just talking about how my tastes have changed in games. I like to play lighter stuff, a little quicker playing. Well, the next one I'm going to talk about is called Tea Garden. It is none of those things. It's a longer Euro game. My head sort of hurt playing it, but not too bad. But I really enjoyed it. In Tea Garden, you are
I like that board.
Yeah, it is gorgeous. It is a beautiful production from Capstone Games. I forget the designer's name, but they're the ones that did SETI. That's our friends Monique and Naveen from Before You Play. But SETI has been all the rage this year. Tea Garden, sort of, I don't know, it got some hype last year. I don't feel like it got as much as hype as it deserves. Thomas Holick, thank you, Magic Eric, in chat. Really appreciate you. This is a game you are cultivating teas, different teas, and you're trying to get the different blends and mixes, and you're trying to cultivate them and eventually sell them at the market. It's sort of like if you ever played Viticulture, a game about winemaking. This is Viticulture, the tea making game. So you've got your player board, you've got a bunch of different things going on. You need to go to the board and eventually sort of get all the different type of ingredients you need to make these teas. The different leaves, there's different goals that you're going to have. Really neat mechanism in your player board where you're going to get raw tea leaves and you're going to place them in these little holders, and then they're either going to go to the left side, which means it's going either getting weaker. But if you, I forget the name of the word, not cultivate, there's a different word where you're gonna I'm gonna say cultivate. The leaves will go to the right side and they get stronger, right? I think they're steeped or something like that. But as they get stronger, then you can unlock those and do better things with them, bigger things as well. Ferment. Thank you, Imagine Eric. Someone's played this game. I appreciate that, Imagine Eric. It is so good though, Anais. I love the theme, and the heavier games like this where it took about, let me see, 3 players. It was me, Kelly, and Linnea. We played 3 players with a teach in about 2 hours. So I think it's like a 90-minute game once you get
that's
everything
not
going.
too bad.
Yeah, it's not
That's
too bad, right?
Yeah, but it's definitely a night. You're probably only going to play this game
Right.
at a board game night.
Exactly.
Unless you're like hardcore, which
Yeah.
I'm sure a lot of people watching this are. So.
Yeah. So yeah, this may be the first of a couple of games you play, but for me, my brain, it wasn't like a brain burner, but it's definitely thinky. And every turn you had a lot of choices, which I love. And there's just a lot going on, but it's nothing where it never seemed unmanageable. And my thing was, and I do like this about some of the heavier or midweight games I play now. Everything was intuitive. It's like, okay,
Nice.
I need to get the leaves here. I need to ferment those leaves in order to do another thing, and then et cetera, et cetera. So everything seemed interconnected, which I really, really enjoyed about this. And I really want to get a copy of this because I would love to play it again. And I think that's the mark of a terrific game is like you play it and you immediately want to play it again. And that's how I felt about Tea Garden. So
Definitely.
have you played
I think I haven't.
Okay.
I do think like the mark of a good game setting is very much like if the setting is supporting the mechanics and making it feel intuitive, that's how you know that like narratively and mechanically like this game is solid.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you'll play something and you're like, well, they just kind of slapped a theme on it. This could have been any game.
Yeah.
So I think like because I love obviously I'm an RPG person. We've established I really love like theming. I love narrative, and I love to be able to like see the narrative in a game and see how it serves the mechanics. I think like that's really important to me as a player. So
absolutely,
this could definitely could be a game for me.
Yeah,
I'll have to check it out.
You would love it. I was actually when I played, I remember thinking because we had just recently played at LFG Con a game called Finca, where we were remember that we were like farmers.
That was awesome.
Yeah, that was a great game. Now TR is nothing like that, but I thought about that experience of like, okay, you're literally getting goods to create things, right? And I felt
that was another one where like the narrative really served the mechanics, which made it easier to learn too.
Exactly.
Like I think like a good heavy game with a narrative is awesome because the narrative helps you understand the game better.
100%. Yeah.
Which is great. I think that's awesome.
Yeah. Okay. So next time we see each other, nice. Hopefully, I have a copy of T-Yard and we got to play it.
And that's what we're gonna play.
Okay, we've got 2 more games to talk about, friends. These are our number 1s for the month of July 2025. And Anais, what do you have on the top of your list?
Okay. It is one of my favorite games ever, and I've already
nice.
But it's Cyberpunk Red. So this is a role-playing game from Artel Sorian Games. It is not. It's not rules light by any means. I would say it's rules comparable to D&D. Personally, I would say it's a little easier to learn than D&D. That's kind of a controversial take. There's definitely discourse about that on the internet, but that's my take on it. But yeah, so this is a role-playing game that's set in the dark future of 2045. If you've played the video game Cyberpunk 2077, that's in this universe. It's CD Projekt Red in collaboration with Artel Saurian Games, they produced the RPG that like takes place after the events of Cyberpunk Red in 2077. So 2045, it's the dark future. You're in Night City. The sky is totally, it's all red because of the after effects of a giant tower being blown up. So that's why it's called Cyberpunk Red. It's made by Mike Pondsmith, who you're seeing on the screen right now. He's just a genius, truly a genius when it comes to games. The original Cyberpunk came out in the 80s, I think 89. So it's been around for a while. I think sometimes there's a misconception that D&D was the only game being played in the 80s and 90s, right. With Satanic Panic and all that. But this one has been around for a while and definitely has a cult following that's I would say a little bit sequestered from the rest of the RPG community, because once you start playing this game, it's kind of the only game you want to play. But yeah, if you like hacking and you like fighting against corporations, you like shooting guns and having cool cybernetic augmentations, this is a great game. I do an actual play on my channel with my dad, actually, GMs, which is awesome.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, but the channel's called Infinite Sided Dice, and it's definitely more, that show is a lot more intense. I also guest on No Latency, which is like what I've talked about a little bit. The No Latency podcast, that's a very different ways you can like play this if you like. If you're a book nerd and you just fantastic. Nice. So yeah, it's great. It's probably my favorite game. Hey, there's some of my stuff.
I just found it right there. There it is.
That's Scum and Villainy. That was a different one, but the other ones, yes. But yeah, guns and drugs and all sorts of awesome crazy cyberpunk stuff, taking down cyber psychos and fighting back against megacorps.
Yeah. I love that theme, and this is something I've heard about for years, right? I've never played, but again, it does have a cult following. It is well known, and we had talked about this before, but I'd love to, if you don't mind sharing. But you do, can you talk a little bit about this actual live play that you do with your dad, like your dad GMs?
Yeah, definitely. Well, first of all, my dad's pretty young, so I mean, he's in his 40s, so it's like I think sometimes I'll say like my dad, and they think that he's older than he is.
Yeah.
No, he's pretty young, and everybody at the table has it's very age agnostic table. But yeah, it was after I graduated college. I had graduated into the pandemic with a theater degree, which is unfortunate, to try to work in live theater after all of that. So I was working at my uncle's game shop at the time, and we had met our friend John the Wise, who's a Cyberpunk Red YouTuber. He's a friend of the family. But he had invited my dad onto a live play on his show. And then my dad was like, I bet we could make something pretty special.
Nice.
So yeah, we decided to make our own show after that. And his buddy owns a soundstage. So, we ended up like hiring a guy. We made some flats and we like set everything up, and we were friends with some, producers who work in reality TV that helped us get started. Wow. And, I had met my friend Day, who you see on the screen. I'd met her while doing playtesting for a game that would become Daggerheart very early on.
Really?
Yeah. Whoa. So while I was working at the game shop, I met my good friend Spencer Stark, who is now the creator of Daggerheart.
Oh my gosh! Wow. Cool.
Candela Obscura, but he was living in the area. I was his local game shop, and I was just like working part time, and that's how we met. And then I was playtesting, and that's how I met Day. And I brought her on this show, and it was kind of like a wild whirlwind time in 2021, 2022. We were like, dealing with the pandemic because my dad is he's a musician and he's a composer, and Uh, Obviously, there weren't a lot of live music events happening, and
Hmm.
film production had stopped on a lot of things, so he wasn't necessarily writing as much. So this was kind of our passion project of like, well, what do we do?
That's so cool.
And this is what we did, and the show's still going. We're on season 3. And he scores the whole show, which is really cool.
Amazing.
He makes all the music, and runs the show, and I love it. It's some of the most compelling role play I feel like I've ever done has been on
That's
that
so
show.
cool.
Because I think there's a level of trust when you're with your parent. Also,
Right.
maybe not for everybody, but for me, my dad and I have a very close relationship. So there's that like level of like, one, we're both trained performers.
Hmm.
2, we trust each other more than anything, and then 3, we're just like locked in on these characters and
Nice.
talk about them all the time. So we've done some pretty awesome scenes, and I'm very proud of it. But
That's so
yeah,
cool.
it's a blast if you haven't. And it's funny because like we had kind of started gaming together. He had gamed as a kid, but I wasn't really gaming like growing up as much. I was
Uh-huh.
playing more video games, and I was a big book nerd. Um, but when I got to college, I started playing D&D,
Ah.
and I got home and I was like, my uncle owns this game shop. I don't know why we're not playing D&D. We should be playing D&D as a family. So we
Yeah.
started doing family D&D with me and my parents and my uncle and my brother.
Oh,
Um,
cool.
and so it was kind of a nice like full circle, like, oh, this is how I started gaming, and now we're making a show together.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you haven't played with your parents, you watching, you should try it. It can be. We had challenges in the beginning, but
Yeah.
notably, my mom was very nervous about playing, but now
Yeah.
she's like the biggest gamer ever.
That's so
she
cool.
she
Yeah.
kickstarts everything. We have a Google Drive just full of documents, and she's the biggest Critical Role fan. She's watched it all. Like
Awesome.
she's a handmade dice maker now. During the pandemic, she like
Yeah.
got into making handmade dice, and now she has
I did.
actually met her
Yes.
at LFG Con.
Yeah.
So if maybe your parents are like nervous or resistant, just be patient with them, and maybe
Yeah.
they'll become the biggest gamer you
that
know.
that is like one of
So
my favorite stories, Anais.
yeah,
Thank you again for sharing that. I love that, and I did. Where did I? Oh, I wish I had it. If I would have, I would have been better prepared. But I actually bought a dice from your mom at LFG Con, and they're here somewhere. There's some 6-sided, but they're really neat. But folks, as I said, you never know. Play games with your parents or your family.
yeah,
And
she was
who
so
knows?
nervous. She was
Yeah.
so nervous because like I think a lot of people, particularly women, are like
Mm,
discouraged from gaming.
yep.
I think it's a lot different now than it used to be,
Hmm.
but I think even 20 years ago, twenty
Yeah.
30 years ago, like, it wasn't as approachable and it wasn't like as a diverse of a community
Yep.
as it is now. So I think she had a lot of reservations about playing, and they were kind of founded on this like discouragement that
Yeah.
happened when she
Yeah.
was younger.
Yep.
And once she kind of broke past that, and she's watching Critical Role, and there's some fabulous women who play in that, and
Yep.
Dimension 20, obviously, like lots of different kinds of people who play games. She felt more comfortable. And then we, you know, created a monster. Now she's either only ever watching Critical Role or One Piece. Those are her two
Yeah.
things, and she makes dice constantly. And
Love that.
she's a hardcore gamer, so
That's
you
awesome.
never know.
That is so cool. Friends, we're going to talk about one more game.
One
Thank
more
you, Anais.
game.
Yeah, we're going to talk about one more game. My number one game for the month. It was a nice little, a cute little game called Moon Colony Bloodbath. I had to pick this for the name alone, but
Sounds crazy.
also, yeah, it's a great name, right? It's one of the best board game names ever. Um, and this one, it's an tableau building slash tableau wrecking game. So in this, you are trying to survive. You are colonizing the moon, but of course things go bad, and it's so funny that I played. This is a game I was talking about earlier. How it's a good game if you want to play it again right immediately afterwards, and basically I did. With Kelly and Aaron, they bought the game when at Gen or when I was staying with them during Gen Con. We played it, and I was like, I really want to play this again. So we played it the next day, and then after we played it the second time, I had them take me to their friendly local gaming store so I could buy my own copy. That's how much I love this game, friends. In it, you're just trying to colonize the moon. Hopefully, you're going to survive because there's all kinds of things that are going to happen that go wrong when you're trying to colonize the moon, including crazy robots. And the robots, friends, basically you have a deck of cards that you all share, and you just flip over a card and do what it says. Hey, everyone can work at this turn, so you take an action. Next card, oh, something bad happened, 4 of your people are going to die. And the next card, you same thing. Oh, robots are taking over, they're going to kill off a bunch of people. So every round you just go through the deck, you're going to hopefully survive, or you're going to build these buildings that have more people in them so you can survive even longer. It's funny because every game I played, it's like the first couple of rounds, oh, moon colony, yay, happy times. And then around round 3 or 4 or 5, now it's the bloodbath. I'm losing people every single turn. Oh my gosh, how can I survive? There's spoiler alert, not everyone's going to survive, and only one player is going to have the most, or is going to have any people alive, and they win the game. That's all it is. It is hilariously fun. I mean, yeah, I guess the theme could be a little morbid, but they do it in a fun way. The artwork's sort of like the 70s, like sci-fi thing
I
going on, right? And it's
love like 70s sci-fi
yeah,
vibe.
yeah, and it's hilarious. It's so much fun. This is Steph and Michael playing it here, 2 player. I played it 2 players. I played it 3, and have I played? No, I have not played it 4 yet. But those experiences was terrific. They also have a solo a variant where you just add a card and you can play it solo, and you're just trying to score, as many, or survive as long as you can, and then wherever you die off is your score. Anais, I was really surprised by this. I'd heard the hype. It lived up to all the hype and then some. It's just a funny, hilarious game, and it's simple. It's another one of those. All you're doing is you have a deck of cards and you're just going through it and doing the actions. You just read it and do it. Oh, this card give me resources. This card takes away resources. I get to build something. Oh, now I have to destroy something. That's all it is. It sounds so much simpler than it is because there are times where like you sort of have these combos where you can, oh, I've got enough people for this combo and I'm going to survive at least another round. Yay. And then a random event happens and they just all died. Boo. And that's this game in a nutshell, is yays and boos. But another like really fun, exciting, hilarious time where there's interaction between players, but you're still playing a little solo, like, okay, I'm just building my little colony, leave me alone, blah blah blah. But then robots happen and oh, I'm all dead. And did you die too? Yeah. Wait, you died before me, I win. That's Moon Colony Bloodbath. That's my #1 game of the month. This one is another one nice that we need to play. It is so much fun and
Like
hilarious.
lots of epic highs and lows, which I love.
Definitely,
And I love an
definitely.
epic high and low.
Yeah, and that's a like a great call. Like it is definitely high and low when you're doing. And it's funny because every game, inevitably, it gets down to everyone chanting "work, work, work," because there is a work card. There's 4 work cards in the deck, and when you work, that basically means you're not going to die. You're not going to none of your people are going to die off this round. So by working, you get to like get resources or money or whatever. But that's the one time or the 4 times in a round where you're basically safe. So everything else is pretty much bad. But oh,
I love,
so much fun.
yeah. I love to be on an emotional journey when I'm board gaming for sure. And I
Definitely an
love this
emotional journey.
uh, obviously is great.
Yeah, it is such a emotional journey, and someone like you who enjoys the narrative. This one, it has
Yeah.
narrative. It's hilarious in its narrative. Like, yeah, we're all gonna die, but maybe I'll die sooner than you, and you'll win the game, or vice versa. But yeah,
Yeah. Well,
it
awesome.
is
It sounds like a great
terrific.
game.
Friends, that is going to be it for the best board games of July 2025. This has been Tabletop Recall. I want to thank Anais for joining me today. Anais, before we get going here, do you want to promote or let folks know where they can find you on the interwebs?
Yeah, you can find me. Well, first of all, thank you for having me.
Oh,
This
yeah,
was really
absolutely.
fun. I
This is
love
great.
getting to nerd out about games. But yeah, you can find me on basically all platforms at Anais R. Morgan, ANAISRMORGAN. Just my name. You can also catch my Cyberpunk Red actual play. That's Infinite Sided Dice. We dropped that link earlier.
Mhm.
If you want to see me play some Cyberpunk, if you want to listen to me play some Cyberpunk, I recently finished up a side quest guest series with the No Latency podcast. If you are into more of a funny radio play version of Cyberpunk, you can also, a lot of times I'm hosting Renegade cons for
Yes.
Renegade Game Studios. So just follow the Renegade Game Studios social media if you want to see some of that. I think that's
Nice.
which is a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot. But yeah, it was so great hanging out, and it was so great reading all the chat, and I'm glad you
Yeah.
guys were able to tune in. And
Thank
yeah,
you, Anais.
thanks,
And
you all.
I do truly appreciate you hanging out with me today online. And next time you're in the area, we got to go to a Dodger game. That's all I got to say.
Yeah, agree. Hard agree.
Yeah. Cool. All right, friends, thank you again for watching. And if you're watching this on the VOD on YouTube, I appreciate you. Be sure to hit that like and subscribe button and check the show description below for all the links to find out where you can watch more of Anais. She's awesome. And with that, we are out of here, friends. Until next time, we'll see you later. Take care. So long. Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.